Like the rest of the cast, you can now cancel Nappa's jumping special into heavies. As you can see, you can basically do this and still be +1. I think there's some implications here for sparking pressure for Nappa, but there's also definitely implications for his combo routing as well. You can now feint the light version of arm break by pressing special during its startup. This seems a little goofy. There's some potential here to basically go for the overhead and fake the opponent out to block high and then hitting them low. But we'll see if there's any practical application to this. Still, giving Nappa more mix-ups when he's already one of the best mix-up characters in the game sets a tone for the patch. Like Majin Buu's Sweeping Breath, you can now Super Dash cancel Blazing Storm. Again, a quality of life buff that basically makes Nappa's special move in line with all the other beam-style special moves that we've seen in the game. There's a second buff as well, and that is going to be to its hit stun. 34 frames of hit stun now. And it's -2 on block. Compared to the previous version, the block stun hasn't changed. Still -2. But on hit, seems like there's like 1 frame of difference here, but I could be mistesting this. Either way, having more hit stun means that it's easier for Nappa to get some of his combos. These changes also apply to the A assist of Nappa. 70 frames of hit stun in the old patch. This is A assist's new hit stun. Again, it seems like about an increase of 1 frame. The C assist also has a few buffs, much in line with the other C assist changes. The attack has been sped up on startup, and the character's appearance has been adjusted as well. This is what it looked like before. 45 frames. And appear right above the enemy. You'll also note that it was a vertically tracking assist in the previous patch. Nappa would appear in front of the enemy in the air. This is the new behavior of C assist. It's 4 frames faster, and Nappa seemingly spawns a little higher above the enemy. I think this is to reduce the chances of the opponent actually being able to accidentally jab against this assist. It's still a vertically tracking C assist as well. It feels like Nappa sends the opponent more straight down than he did before, but this could also just be a result of the 4 frames faster startup, making that Nappa comes out sooner, and thus the enemy's actually closer to me than they were in the other example. I don't really see too much of a significant difference between where Nappa appears between the two versions of the game, outside of mentioning the possible scenario of him being able to dodge the opponent jabbing him more often than not now. Even then, it's not like you can't do that now. It all depends on the timing, as you can see. Even grounded, you can still do this with some characters. So I'm not too sure what the appearance actually changes. When it comes to Nappa in this version, what is not on the patch list is more important than what is. There's no existing nerfs to Cybermen in this version in the game, so that means Nappa is still running around having these little cretins controlling the entire screen, which forces you to engage them by getting close enough, risking them spitting on you, jumping at you, etc., and contesting them with a normal. Granted, that would be a little easier to do since several normals have had their range increase, and so the opponent's going to be able to kind of, check the Cybermen, Gatling cancel off of them, swing into Nappa. But that still doesn't change the fact that once Nappa gets a Cyberman planted on the screen, your assists aren't going to be able to stop it, your projectiles aren't going to be able to stop it, and if you engage with Nappa and have that scramble and you get sandwiched, you basically have to give up your pressure or else you risk getting full comboed into a restand mix-up. I get that Bandai wants these Cybermen to be strong. They've been too weak in many versions of the game where basically Nappa could use them as a restand situation, and outside of that, they were pretty much worthless, aside from combo fodder, outside of his setups, but now they're a real neutral threat, and they still are very much the same threat. I would have liked to have seen at least some sort of nerf to them, right? I think that maybe making them weaker to zoning by having them get clipped by key blasts or assists would have been way too much. That certainly would have made them way too weak, and it's not like the game is at want for more full-screen normals to let characters contest these Cybermen, but making it so that the Cybermen don't attack you when you're hitting Nappa or putting him into block stun might have been a change that would have gone a long ways, incentivizing you to sort of swing at him, but maybe that would have been too much, right? But I don't even know, because as it is, Nappa players already have really tight setups when it comes to their mix-ups, so it's not like you're really going to be able to swing the game just by getting a successful match against one if they bungle up a mix-up or go for one that isn't really true. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things happening right here. And while Nappa certainly isn't one of the best characters in the game, I still think that the Cybermen are, and Nappa is very much here to stay in the next version of the game. That being said, he might have some competition in terms of what characters you want to play restands with. While I don't think Majin Buu is going to see a spike in popularity, as I've mentioned before, I think that Piccolo might be making a comeback just with his changes and the fact that he now fits into this archetype of characters. Overall, we'll see what happens. Nappa's still the same character he was as the previous patch with a few quality of life changes that make him slightly better. So, Nappa players, congrats, you did it. You survived the patch. Well done.